Oh my god, I love the Nintendo Switch, man. It's so awesome, and the portability is just, man, shut the f. Hello, YouTube. This is the Bilderberg Boy, and you are now watching the Bilderberg Report. Yes. Now, today I want to talk about the PlayStation Vita. Just a quick little video about the PlayStation Vita and how interesting things have been with it. And I want to really get down to the nitty-gritty about the console's lifespan, and is there indeed much life left in the console itself. Now, recently, as a gaming collector, I just picked up my second PlayStation Vita. Oh yes, we go there. I mean, come on, this is YouTube. Some guys do $12,000 PCs, other guys do multiples of consoles. They're like, hey, it is what it is. Anyway, let's go. Lying by the PC, keep you lying by the PC all day. Now, the PlayStation Vita is a really interesting concept. Initially, it touted console quality gaming on the go. And now, looking ahead to 2019, where that concept has really been invigorated and accepted with the Nintendo Switch, it's really interesting to just look back at the PlayStation Vita and just see, hey, what went wrong? Now, in this video, we won't go over all the ups and downs of the Vita and look at why exactly it failed, but we will actually look at the games and the system itself to see how much life it actually has left in it. Because I'm not going to lie, the Vita is still a really cool piece of hardware, and I think it has. Now, by this point, the Uncharted franchise definitely needs no introduction. And the fact that it could be ported to the Vita so easily and still manage to be a full-fledged Uncharted game while still having some innovative features due to the hardware is nothing to be sneezed at. And it definitely shows that Sony were able to deliver on their initial concept of the PlayStation Vita. And to be honest, whew, look at these graphics. Now, when you hear people talk about the Nintendo Switch, you often hear, and I'm talking about the bad side of the Switch, you often hear the excuse, but the portability. But there was never such excuse with, with the Vita, because with the exclusive games that came to the Vita, I mean, look at these graphics. You could instantly see why the whole concept of the console was justified, and it still reigns true to today. If you get your hands on Killzone, Mercenary, you will instantly see why first-person shooters are amazing on the Vita. And whilst all the lobbies might not be so populated online, you will definitely still be able to have some fun with the game overall. And that's definitely one of the good things about having the whole game on a cartridge rather than all of this patch nonsense, which doesn't really help anybody. But yes, a lot of the games that were promised to be console quality graphically are still pretty much that by today's standards. And this machine was released going on nearly 10 years ago. So if you want to be blown away by something portable on the go, hey, you have two choices, the Vita or Pornhub. Is the Vita better than porn? Now, it wasn't just the Western games with the big names that were bringing in the bacon for the PlayStation Vita. Oh no, there was a ton of more Eastern Japanese focused games such as Freedom Wars, Soul Sacrifice, Gravity Rush, and a ton of others, which made the Vita's library even more robust. And once you had this unique mixture of big Western games and very cool substance-based Japanese games, you have a very interesting library. And this is why, even to this day, a load of the games still hold their original pricing because of the overall quality. Even hard to get games like Phantasy Star Online version 2, the proper sequel to Phantasy Star Online, were made available on the Vita. And a lot of people who played it said that the Vita version was actually as good as the PC version, which is just a testament to the power of the console and its great library. The Vita even had a bona fide killer app in the form of Soul Sacrifice, a game that I recommend that any Monster Hunter fan or even action game fan in general pick up and try immediately. And one of the things that get on my nerves is the way Sony passed over the Vita for games like Sonic Mania. That game could easily run on a Vita. So bring it to Vita. Games like the Mega Drive Collection, Genesis Collection, whatever you guys call it in the US, could still come to the Vita. Why weren't the Street Fighter Collection on the Vita? All of those games can run on a Vita. Bring them to Vita. Indie games are bringing in a lot of the Nintendo Switch's bread and butter. Yes, they do have those huge Nintendo releases throughout the year, but they're few and far between. I mean, last year only had one truly big announcement, which was Smash Brothers, which Nintendo used to save itself at the end of the year. Cool. So throughout the rest of the year, they were relying on indie games. All indie games which could be easily used to run on a Switch. Games like S.H.I.N.O Heroines easily could be brought to the Switch. So it's very interesting to see the way that Sony completely stopped the momentum for this machine themselves, because they could have gotten Vita versions of all these cool indie games that came out last year on the Vita, where there's already an install base. And hey, now one of the things that is very interesting, in my opinion, that held the Vita back is the price of the console. And you know what? I'm going to save that, because in the next couple of days, weeks, we're going to be going over the Vita and why it just flopped. Well, I don't want to call it a flop, because to tell the truth, there's still a very passionate community of gamers and indie developers which are still passionate about this machine. So it's going to be interesting to see how long that this machine gets pushed and stretched along for, because usually machines that didn't come out selling gangbusters straight away, the support would have been cut for them immediately. But as we can see, the Vita in some ways is still going strong. Physical games and whatnot are still being released in Japan. We're still getting a load of companies like Limited Run Games doing physical copies. We're still having digital games come out. It's definitely slowing down, definitely, but we're still seeing the community be really passionate. And if this continues, hopefully, I don't know, we can see some revival. Now, it's definitely up to Sony, and hey, I'd love to see a revival. But anyway, let me know what you think about the Vita. We're going to be doing a lot more Vita videos and stuff like that, definitely. Like to give a shout out to my boy Larry Caldwell, Big Cloud Gaming, all the people that's been coming through, leaving likes on the videos and all that great stuff. It really helps the channel. But anyway, I'll catch up with you guys later. Look out for more Vita content soon. Bilderberg Boy out.